Good afternoon, everybody. Steve Georgie here on Friday, June 25th, with your market recap here for the week. It could be described here for most of the session as watching paint dry, but it was a very quiet session up until a couple things today. First off, in crude, you had a story come out today that we may find a hurricane enter the Gulf and come right up through that Louisiana port, and that is the path of it at this point. But of course, it's very early, and they can change that as many times as they can. But crude oil was up about 70 cents before that had broke. And once you looked at the screen, you blinked a little bit, you'll see that crude oil was up more than $2. So you did have crude up $2.15 here today. That is up 43 cents for the week. So even though it was a big close today, it still was up just a touch for the week, but it is a positive close. So that could bring further buying next week and further support in this market as long as the storm continues to bring stories. How did that affect other things today? It really didn't. The grains were very quiet. We did have corn, though, down 4 3/4 cents. That happened here with basically the last 15 minutes of trade. Today is July option expiration. So you had corn that was hovering just above that 340 area in July, and you ended up finding this market gravitate toward that 340 area and sit right at 340. It's not settled out just yet, so we'll see which side of 340 it's on. But we did have a lot of those 340 puts that guys had sold, so that is where it had gravitated to. If it sits right at 340, all 340 calls and 340 puts will be exercised. So it should make for an interesting open come Monday, or I should say Sunday night. But beans, very quiet, up 3 1/4 cents. The joke around the office today was, hey, did the beans even open? Just because it was very quiet and they really didn't move. But they were up 3 1/4 cents. That put them still lower on the week, down about 5 cents. Corn was down 20 3/4 here for the week. So we did find a lot of weakness in corn, but beans down 5 cents for the week. The wheat market today down 7 1/4, puts it down 7 1/2 for the week. So most of the weekly losses came here today. As I mentioned, crude oil, strong close there. But with crude oil rallying, what does that do to the dollar typically? Usually sends it on the defensive. So we did have the dollar down 42 cents today, puts the dollar down 38 cents, which actually is the second consecutive week now that the dollar has found losses. And looking at a weekly chart, looks that we could find more downside pressure here next week as well. So keep an eye on that weekly chart too. As far as the soft markets today, kind of quiet as well, but cotton, pretty strong close. It was up about 18 points today. But you've got a report out here next Wednesday that we typically find this cotton work very quickly around these reports. So either it's going to rally very quickly or we're going to find a pretty sharp pullback. But we are a little overbought. We are near the contract highs right now in that December contract. We feel we're probably going to see new highs before that report comes out on Wednesday. So keep an eye on the cotton. As far as coffee, so you guys probably know out there, we've had some very violent trade here this week. Very strong close in coffee for the week, but it was down about 75 points today. We feel it's probably got some more upside yet. When you see a lot of fund money enter these markets, it's not just a 1 or 2 day event. They tend to run in that direction for several days and several weeks, pushing the market higher and very fast. But when they decide to turn, it turns very quickly as well. So be careful. Use some caution. We're using options here if we are in the coffee. Check out our trade recommendations here on our advisory service and to get those strike prices that we're currently in. But sugar, stronger close for a weekly chart, up 18 points today, but seems like we could gravitate toward the 100-day moving average, which is sitting at almost a penny higher than where we're currently at yet. So we do look for further strength here in the next week. As far as livestock, fat cattle up 22 today, feeders up 50 cents, and the hogs up 65. So we did find some strength across the livestock today, but it did put the hogs still lower on the week, down about 15 cents. Fats and feeders, big week for for feeders, up $3, and you had the fats up $1.65. So still strong closes in the cattle. We may see more of a technical strength here next week due to those closes. Those weekly charts actually look pretty good and may end up finding a little bit of buying early next week as well. So we'll see if that's the case too. But give us a call over here if you guys have any questions. Number to reach us, 800-262-7538. You can check us out on the web, allendale-inc.com. Hopefully you guys had a great trading week. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we will talk to you next week. Take care.